Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think. Urinary tract infections are extremely common. Around 1 in 2 women and 1 in 20 men will get a UTI in their lifetime. Plus, once you've had one UT challenge, you're way more susceptible to another in the future. That's why you just need Just Thrive's UT123. This product can actually prevent UTIs while maintaining your urinary tract health. UT123 targets both immediate and long-term relief. We've all heard to drink cranberry juice for your urinary tract, but did you know that for the full effects, you need the whole cranberry? Not just juice, but the skin, flesh, and even the seeds. Well, UT123 uses superior ingredients that utilizes the whole fruit. This supplement truly is the full package. So if you're someone who struggles with the constant urge to urinate, a burning feeling when you pee, pelvic pain, or just want to be proactive in your urinary health, Just Thrive is for you. Just Thrive is so confident you'll love their product that there is a 100% money-back guarantee on every purchase made through justthrivehealth.com. And for a limited time, you can save 20% off site-wide at justthrivehealth.com with promo code SEXWithEmily. That's justthrivehealth.com and use code SEXWithEmily for 20% off your order. You're going to love it.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. I want to tell you about one of our amazing sponsors that helps keep this show free. Jimmy Jane does adult products like no one else does. They create vibrators, massage candles, and pleasure kits that blend sex, music, art, and design. They even do jewelry. They take sex and add a level of luxury to it. I kind of feel like Cleopatra when I use their products. I go crazy for their massage candles. And the Form 2 vibrator, don't get me started. So if you want to treat yourself or your partner, Jimmy Jane products always make the perfect gift. Just go to my website, click on the Jimmy Jane banner, and check out everything they have to offer. You know, just as a way to thank them for bringing you Sex with Emily. Just use coupon code SPRING at checkout. Thanks for listening. I promise your sex life will improve. You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information about Sex with Emily, go to sexwithemily.com. You can listen to our podcast, sign up for our mailing list, and you can also find me on Facebook. My fan page is Sex with Emily. So thanks, everyone, for listening to the show. Great to be here today. And we have special guests. I'm here with Menace, first of all, of course.
Hi, how you doing?
What up, Menace? Do you want to introduce our special guest?
I want to introduce Greg from Fernando and Greg here in San Francisco on Moving. Oh, sorry.
It used to be Moving.
It used to be Moving. It's
99.7 now.
Now.
Yes.
.com.
Fernando and Greg in the morning.
Highly rated morning show.
Highly rated,
Very highly rated,
super famous morning show.
I don't know about super famous, but we're getting there. We'll be there.
I've been fans of you guys for years, even before you came over to CBS.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Okay. So we're doing, I don't know if the program director here knows about Super Secret because of the way he conducted things, but there was already a morning show at this station that I was going to work for, which was Moving. And I think everybody kind of knew that morning show was going to be gone, when their contract was up. But when we did our interview with the program director, he had us at a restaurant. He met us at a restaurant right next to the radio station. And who walks in but White Menace? Hey, Fernando and Greg. And so it's supposed to be like this super down low.
Right. And
meeting.
then Menace blows it and tweets it out to everybody.
No, we were like, dude. But I'll tell you something that you probably don't know, Menace, is that the first time we came over here, we actually saw you, and we ducked behind like a CBS TV van to hide from you.
Yeah, but I kept everything on the DL. I earned your trust, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I'm just saying that, it's
Okay, so tell me about your show. Like, why so popular? People love you guys. What do you think it is?
I think it's because it's a fun show. We talk a lot about absurd things. We used to be on the dance station, Energy 92.7. A lot of people knew us from that.
Right.
And that was kind of known as the gay station.
Right.
And
so you're gay. Let's just put it out there, right?
I
in case
am, if you
know.
can't figure
well,
it out.
a lot of our listeners are not in San Francisco, so they're all over the world. So
yeah, just to know. I mean, if you can't figure out by the voice, I'm a homosexual. But I don't look like I sound, is what everybody tells me.
No,
like
you
I'm
don't.
a little more grizzly and butch.
Yeah, you're grizzly and
but
cute.
Then people think like when they meet me, they're always like, "Oh, I thought you were like a total like tweaker, party boy,
right?
Like stick, real skinny, And I'm like,
well, you're
I
from
guess
the
I just have that
Midwest. You
voice.
got the Midwest feel.
First of all, I'm not from the Midwest.
Why are you
claiming it?
What are you talking about?
Maybe
Menace?
I got my geography mixed up.
I'm
Where
from
you from?
Texas.
Okay,
Texas.
That's
Different.
the Midwest, right?
No, Menace, you got to leave San Francisco more often.
That's true. You know what? Texas is Texas. I mean,
Okay.
I hate to be like Texans are way too proud for that state, but Texas really is Texas. It's not the South.
Okay.
It's not the West. It's not the Midwest. It's just Texas.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.
It's
You're
Texas.
from Texas.
So you're
Yeah.
from Texas, and then you
From Texas.
is your family still there?
My family is still there.
And are you
Fort
close
Worth.
to their family?
I am off and on.
How do
It
they feel
depends.
about like when you came out as being gay?
Well, I didn't really come out to my parents. I haven't really come out to my parents,
Not
which
yet.
is interesting because my mom is on the show. I mean, they've got to know.
Right, they've
and
got to know.
my mom's on the show every Wednesday. But my brother asked me, it's been, 10 years ago, and he's super butch. He
Right.
rode bulls in the rodeo for years and total cowboy, kicker,
Right.
And he invited me to his house the night before Thanksgiving. And he got completely wasted on Crown. And we were drinking and drinking and drinking. And finally he looked at his wife and he's like, I'm just going to ask him, Amber. I'm going to ask him. And she's like her eyes bulge out. She's like, no. And I knew immediately what he was going to ask me, And he's like, are you queer? And I was like, I really wish if there were a Jesus at that point, he would. It's pretty funny. You could tell I'm not religious. It would have come down and lifted me to the sky. It was horrifying, but you know what? He was cool about it at that moment. He was like, "You're my brother, and I love you no matter what," and all that stuff. And he was just like, "I just don't get it because I love pussy. I love it." And he said it like 5 times, and I'm like, I get it. Are you trying to convince me?
Right.
Or are you trying to convince yourself?
Right,
that you
exactly,
like it?
exactly. They're like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
And I'm like, but he was cool about it, but then never again have we talked about it.
right. That's what people are. How were you brought up? You brought up like religious or not religious?
My mom is one of 11. And
Wow.
all of her brothers and sisters are uber religious. Like, they're Catholic, of course. They're
Okay.
going to have that many kids. They're going to be Catholic. And they're so religious, but all the other aunts and uncles, like, totally go to church and all. They
Right.
were like, my mom married outside the faith, which caused huge scandals.
Right. It always does.
They wouldn't even, like, speak to my dad for, like, months. And he was married before. Oh, that is an amazing story.
Oh.
That is a great story that I have to tell.
Okay.
So I was, this is probably like 5, 6, 7 years ago. A friend of mine and I were going to go to Puerto Vallarta. We're leaving out of DFW. That's in Dallas. That's for Menace.
Yeah, there you go.
And
we have to help him along sometimes.
yeah, so My friend, she takes a shower first. We stayed at my parents' house. I lived in Dallas, but we stayed at my parents' house because it's a lot closer to the airport, and my dad was going to take us to the airport. So she takes a shower. She gets ready. She goes in. She's older than me. She goes in the kitchen, is having coffee with my father, and they strike up a conversation. And it turns out that she grew up in the same town where my husband, my father, lived with his first wife.
Oh.
And so they strike up a conversation, and then as soon as we leave, like get dropped off, as soon as we get out of the car, she's like, oh, my God, Greg, I have to tell you something. I'm like, what? She's like, do you know that your dad was married? I was like, yeah, he's mentioned it, when I was a kid, but he's never really talked about it. She's like, your father's ex-wife is a lesbian. And I'm like, what? And she was like,
oh, my God.
Your dad's ex-wife is a lesbian. She was my softball coach
What?
in high school, and we started talking about that. And your father, who's never opened up to me, of course, opened up to anybody,
of course,
told her that in one conversation, he barely knows her, that this other lesbian comes over to the house one day and says, that's not your wife. That's my wife. She had a baseball bat with her because they were on the same softball team and said, blah, blah, blah. And my dad was like, I'm out. Like, I'm not going to fight
And your dad,
this.
so did you tell your dad that you
No!
found out
Are you kidding? What am I supposed to say?
But don't you see your dad a little differently now? Like,
I do in a way that I sort of feel.
and it was years ago, right? I mean, years
ago before
you were born, like even.
Oh, yeah. It was, God, at least 45 years ago.
Okay, right.
45
That's
years ago.
Yeah, but how
Crazy.
did he not know that she was a lesbian because she played softball? You know? 'Cause-
I don't know, but you know what? I got my friend. I went to my friend's house, and we got her yearbook to look up,
Right,
the
of
softball
course, of
coach. I wanted to
course.
see, and the woman looks like a total lesbian, but that was years after my dad was married to her. But my
Right.
dad doesn't talk about his first marriage
Right.
other than, it's funny, I remember being a kid, and it got brought up. And you know how you're a kid, you hear things, you're like, you're married before,
Yeah.
whatever. And I asked why they didn't say married, and here's his exact answer was, I wanted to have kids, and she didn't.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Well, she might have,
so
but
what's
she
your
wouldn't-
situation like here in San Francisco? Like, okay, so here's the deal. So Sex with Emily, I've been doing the show for like 5 years, and we've had a lot of people talk about all different kinds of sex, but not lately, like a lot of like gay sex issues. What's going on in the
And we're in
culture?
San Francisco.
I know, and it's just like, because I feel like a lot of the topics we cover, we're like we do talk about it, we read it, we get emails, but specifically, I just feel like we all have a lot of same issues. It's different in some ways mechanically, but they're different.
It's just so different the way that men are sexual
Right.
beings. And I always say, people like to say, well, gay men are so promiscuous, and gay men
why
want
are
to have
they
sex
whores?
and blah, 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 and da-da-da. It's that is not true.
Right.
What's true is men are promiscuous.
Right.
What happens is, if you're a straight man, the woman comes in and says no.
Right.
Most of the time. Another man never says no.
Exactly.
I mean, they do sometimes,
Exactly.
but whatever. And the culture is so different because there's not that, like, women
Like,
can
let's
be
get married
prudish
and have
about,
kids. Right.
like, because, and I've talked to a friend of mine, and she's so open and so, like, out there. But sex means so much to
Right,
her.
that's a
and
lot of
then
women are like
if
that.
she has sex with a guy,
She's in love.
not necessarily in love, but crushed if then he doesn't want to continue to have sex. She's okay with having the FB. That's fine with her. But if she is enjoying it and stuff, and then he says, I don't want to have it anymore, it's like
they go
crushed.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing she can't do, which I don't understand, other than safety-wise, I can understand it, but she can't have sex with someone who's having sex with someone else.
Yeah, a lot of women and men are like that because I think a lot of that has to do with ego. Like, I literally can't, and not in a bad, just like our minds can't process that the person that we're with, like, we all want to believe that we're special and that we're the one. And to think that this person who just had sexual relations with me and had their penis inside me or whatever happened is now going to be with someone else is like, people don't have they literally don't have the skills to handle that kind of emotion and that kind of anxiety and stress around and jealousy.
I think if I had
But I think you learn to,
Oh, I've actually had FBs in the past that have been in relationships, and I really liked it because it was no fuss, no muss, come in, do it. Let's not talk a lot and get out.
Right.
I enjoy that because then I can go back to watching the Golden
Yeah.
Girls. You know,
Right,
I'm
exactly.
like, I don't really have time to have, this whole, like, what are you doing for lunch? In fact, when I had FBs, it became a burden when they
just
would
in
get
case people aren't
F-buddies.
getting it.
And
Yeah.
it would be like, and then they'd be like, well, hey, maybe we could go to lunch sometime.
Oh.
No, like, no.
They're like, we are not. Lunch
Yeah.
was not in our contract.
I have
meals
friends
were not
to
right.
have
Exactly.
lunch with.
You just want the FB. Yeah, I think that women typically more than men, but not that men don't, but they kind of romanticize it. Well, we're having sex. It means something. I want a relationship, and it's harder just to have the FB. So what do you have now? But now you're in a relationship.
I have a boyfriend of 2 years.
Are you
Absolutely.
monogamous?
We are. He's younger than me.
How much younger?
9 years.
Okay.
He's 28. Oh, damn, I just gave my age.
That's okay.
Come on. Don't add. He's 28. I think with the younger generation, they definitely, it's like the monogamy things is very, very important to him.
Really?
And-
younger, more important?
Yeah.
I mean, if
it's
they're into
interesting,
it,
yeah, because
they're
I think,
into it.
Yeah.
What's my problem? Okay, yeah.
Older gay men are more like they've done it. You've done it.
Right,
You've experienced it, so you know that it's his first real
You're his
long-term
first
relationship.
real. Okay,
yeah.
you're the first one.
So I think in that way, you always think because I've been the first relationship for a couple of guys, and the
Interesting. Men who are formally identified as straight.
men that weren't out.
Okay, that weren't out.
Mhm.
But I don't think I
mean,
don't know
they
if
didn't
they.
socially they identified as straight. Maybe they always knew they were gay.
Yeah. Well, actually, my current boyfriend now, he came out a while ago, like several years. He even
Okay.
came out to his parents, and stuff when he was in college. But he just never had, I don't think he ever felt comfortable enough to have a relationship.
Okay.
In fact, I scared him because I'm so just out there and whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, this is
You
what
know.
right.
Oh,
This-
when we first started, like, dating and I would go to hold his hand in public, he would, like, stiffen up and freak
Right.
out, and kissing him in public, he'd like, and it's like, we're in the Castro.
Right.
We're in the gay area. What's
We're in
wrong
the
with
gay.
you?
Right. Oh my
Like,
God. I work out at
calm
the Castro
down.
gym. Do you work out at the Castro gym by
The
chance?
Gold's Gym
Yeah.
there? I don't, only because I do work out at Gold's Gym.
Me too.
But not at that one because it's so small.
Right.
And I don't know if it still does, but sometimes it smells
does
like
smell.
musty,
It's
nasty.
man, and it's all men, and like I'm
It's
the
all
only
men.
woman in the
You never
entire
go
gym.
South of Market.
I do go South of Market sometimes.
I'll look
Do
for
you go
in
there?
my
I
locker
do.
room.
Yeah, I
I'll be
like
in the
it.
girls' locker room.
You're in the
Looking
girls'
for you.
locker room. Perfect. Exactly.
It's
Oh my
legit.
God.
I heard there's nothing going on in the girls' locker room. 'cause
No, but what's
there's-
going on in the men's locker room for real? Is there really real?
Why
like
is everyone
here,
naked? Like,
Is it really?
necessary
Why is
to be
everybody
Because let me
naked?
tell you about this gym. Because Gold's Gym is like a serious gym, and it's there's two of them, and they're mostly gay. I'd say
It's the
the-
gay
in the city.
haven.
Oh, yeah,
I feel
mostly.
like the gay gym in the Castro, I often say is the gayest place on earth
Yeah, but I
because
think,
I'm in the Castro,
I think-
and it's the gay gym.
Yeah, but I think you're wrong because I think there are more straight women who go to that gym than there are that go to the South of Market. South of Market is more.
Oh,
They're like
okay.
beefier
I went to South
guys,
of Market for a
and
year, and then I realized the other one was closer. It took me a year to figure out the other one was close
That's
to my
okay.
house. Whatever. I'm slow.
You didn't know where you
I'm
lived.
really slow. But I feel like all the men are just always so like, I mean, they're buff, but they're always like just, like friendly and touchy and grabbing each other's ass. And so I'm wondering what happens in the locker room. Like the whole cliche of what you hear about the locker room.
Nothing happens in the locker room part of. There's the locker room. You walk in, and there's the locker room, and then there is a shower, and then in the back of the shower, there's a steam room and a sauna. Yeah, steam room and a sauna, two different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's all that going on. I've taken a shower at that gym, and there doesn't seem to be a lot going on in the shower, but in the steam room and the sauna, from what I am told by my friends, and I have this one friend who is like horny as all get out. He's constantly having sex everywhere he goes. I mean, he's a good-looking guy. He has sex everywhere. I mean, he's one of those guys that he could be one of those after dark HBO shows,
Right.
Like he has a coffee shop, in the coffee shop, down below the
I
coffee
have a
shop.
friend like
walking
that.
down, and you're like, this never happens to me. Like,
Right,
why
right.
doesn't it happen to me?
There are my friend has a theory that there's three kinds of men, and I'm not going to remember them all, but one of them is the guy. I'm not going to remember the right terms, but one of them is the guy that just, you can't understand it. He just gets everywhere he goes, he gets laid. Like,
But he
like
must
it's
give
special
a look.
powers.
Yeah.
No. It's like he's maybe good looking, but it doesn't matter. Like, not more good looking than their friend that doesn't ever get laid. But there's something about these people. They got these powers, men, women, straight, gay. I mean, it doesn't matter. They just men fall for them.
And he doesn't have to hook up like online or on, you
Right.
know, whatever. He just plain and simple can walk into somewhere, and I am telling you, within 15 minutes, he's in the back of an SUV getting his penis sucked.
Yes,
It is
I love it. I've got-
way.
Yeah, but I've talked to my my gay friends, and they said there's like just I go, when you're in the club and you want to hook up with somebody, like, how do you do it? Do you even like talk? Because once I get to the club, I swear to God, my gay friends are gone within 5 minutes already. And they say it's just a look. You just look at each other.
Yeah, that's what I
and
want to
then
know.
that's it. And then you
in
take
a club
off.
is different because, you know, well, get back to the gym. From what I understand, there is sex and masturbation, a lot of mutual masturbation and
In
stuff
the
like
gym,
that
in the steam room.
steam room. Not in the locker room at all.
Right.
But it is funny. You know, guys who have big schlongs connected to ugly faces have this weird thing that in the locker room they must walk around without a towel for what appears to be hours. Like, I mean, like I can go in there, change my clothes, work out, come back, and they're still finding things to do, clip their toenails,
Right.
grease their legs up, whatever. And it's guys with big schlongs connected to pretty faces. I guess they're used to getting attention for it all.
Right. So
Whereas the
they put their
ugly
towels
guys,
on. Right.
They've got it. This is my one thing God gave me, and I, by God, am showing it to the world.
Right. For hours, right?
Yeah,
oh my God, that
it's
is
so annoying.
Right. It's
Because
so
you're like,
funny.
listen, I
I
don't
could
care
totally
how big
see
it
that.
is.
Right.
Are you impressed by size?
Are you
I'm not a size queen. I'm not a size queen, but I like bigger. I just do. But
For sex, for looks, for...
sex, I think.
Yeah.
I like just the feeling. I just do. It doesn't have to be huge. I'm not like totally a mess, but like I have been in the past with some that are just really not as big
Yeah.
and not as, one in particular. If I might go back, wasn't as really it was small, but I know now that this person is like married with 2 kids and really happy. So like I know like for me it wasn't right, but doesn't mean that it wasn't right for someone else. But for me,
Yeah, and maybe
this
at
penis
talents,
was like, are you
know.
in? You know, and my friend was just having sex with a guy, and she was like, I didn't know if he was in. I said, is that your finger?
That's so sad.
Never ask if that's your finger, and it wasn't his finger.
Yeah, you shouldn't probably ask that. I was with a guy
Slipped
once
out.
that I...
He's like, not my finger, bitch. Yeah.
That said, I was with a guy once that it was so small. Like, I'm not a size queen at all.
Right.
It's fine. I mean, anything from normal small to normal large is
Right.
great. In fact, I would rather have more on the medium to smaller side than like a huge penis if I'm going to bottom. But sometimes, actually, if the smaller it is, like if it's abnormally small, it hurts worse because it's like a little jutting in there. Like,
Oh, wow. Really?
you know, yeah. So it's like...
You said if
it's
you're
like a
going to
dart.
bottom. So do you bottom and top both?
Yeah, both.
What's
Yeah,
it called?
yeah.
There's terms for that, right?
What, versatile. If you do both, you're
Oh,
versatile.
okay.
Yeah.
Someone just told me, some gay friend of mine, just that San Francisco is a town of bottoms.
It is. Well, almost every town's a town of bottoms.
Really?
It's hard to find a top. I mean, listen, when you find a good top in a town, you stick to them.
Will
You
you just
can't find
explain this
tops.
to me? This is what I understand. How do you know right away?
You don't. I mean, you don't. I mean, some guys you can look at and be like, bottom. Like, but some
right,
guys will
right.
say-
Do you do that? Or you
Some
like
guys-
bottom, top, bottom,
Oh,
top,
yeah,
bottom?
of course.
Right.
I mean, it's like a game you play.
Right.
You skip through the Castro. And you,
I
like-
love it. Can I come? I live right near there.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
You can
that's
come with
so
us
fun.
anytime.
Okay, that's so fun.
But you know, I'll tell you what's changed the game, and I know Menace asked me a question about this the other day, and what's changed the game of hooking up is Grindr.
Right.
Grindr,
Menace
the new
loves
app for...
Grindr.
I don't love it, but my... I
He
love...
secretly loves Grindr
I love
for
the gay.
himself.
I love the gay technology of Grindr. It's for people that don't know. It's an app that's on your phone that uses
On
your
your
location, and everybody else that has the app has theirs turned on also. So when you turn on the app, you see all the other people that are
And how
around
far
you.
away they are from you.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you used it to hook up? Well, you've been in a relationship.
Yeah, I have. But
Yeah.
listen, I have a friend who is obsessed with it. Obsessed to the point of we went to Kauai as a group of people. He was so obsessed with it. His phone eventually broke, I think, because he was using Grindr
Yeah.
so much. I'm like, we're in Kauai.
Right.
There's nothing but chickens here and fish. You're not going to find another gay guy. Get off of there. He was so obsessed with it. It drove us insane.
Oh, my God.
He needs to be checked into rehab.
Yeah.
Right.
But what he has told me about it, my boyfriend actually downloaded it a while back because we have a friend, a straight girlfriend, who's obsessed with the concept, and she had to know all about it. So he downloaded it, and they, looked at it, and you literally can tell, like, okay, someone is 10 feet away.
And he will suck my cock, or I will suck his cock.
No, what happens is you see
it depends on what it says. The profile may say.
You click their photograph, and then you can instantly start chatting with them. It's crazy.
Wow.
You know more about it than I do.
So much
I have
about
a lot of gay friends.
He brings it up all the time.
And then there's Boy Ahoy, which is another one that just works the same.
I've not even heard of that.
I don't like that name.
Oh, my God. How he knows Boy Ahoy and I don't.
How do you know the obscure Grindr?
But do you know what's funny? It'll never work for straight people because
women wouldn't get on it. It would just be straight men.
It'd be like men going, I see you picking out the grapefruits over there in the Safeway.
Slutty chick.
Would you
Would I
do
go
that?
on Grindr?
Not on Grindr, but if there was a Grindr for straight people.
No, I already have men picking. I was saying there's men picking me up. I have men. I don't know. I don't need to be like, I'm available single chick, come talk to me 10 feet away. Like, I'd rather not.
Do you ever just want to have sex?
Yes.
And just like,
yes,
be
all the time.
Oh my God, I want to have sex right now. Let me get on my phone and find a guy.
But I have guys in my arsenal that I could call to have sex with.
Even at noon.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
Good.
I mean,
you've got like
it
around
fluctuates.
You've got around the clock cock.
I do. Around the clock and around the country.
This is what sucks for straight men because straight men don't have anything like that.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
If I have it with these men, then they have it with women.
No, because
you just have to be cute.
No, I have to buy you fucking lunch.
No,
first.
you don't, dude.
No, you don't. But you just gotta have.
I prefer them not to buy me anything. I
have another.
Oh, that's not true.
I have another friend. You shouldn't say that on the air. Bleep that out.
Bleep that. Bleep, bleep.
I have a friend who has an ex, and every time he texts, it's always like he's in the food service industry, so he'll get out at 11:30, midnight, and we'll be hanging out, on a Friday night, and she'll get a text, and it's like, what's up? What are you doing? Can I come over?
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, her hair's on fire. She gets out of my house so fast.
Right. That's what I do. That's what we do. We hook up late. Yeah. You just like, hey, what are you doing? Menace does that every night. He doesn't even go home.
Well, that's funny to me because
Menace looks no,
not about Menace.
Oh, sorry.
I can't even imagine having sex after 8 p.m. I can't even imagine having
Why?
7.
You're not.
Because I get up at 4:30.
Oh, you get up 4:30 for your show. I got it.
And I really want my boyfriend. Like, I have tried to talk to him over the last 2 years. Like, listen, once in a while, you have to find a way to get out of work because I'm horny at like 2 or 3 or 4.
Oh, and he works late?
Yeah. So for a while, I was like uber, I wouldn't say addicted, but very dependent on porn at home. Because it was the only outlet that I really had.
Yeah, and it's like 2 o'clock, you're getting up from your nap or
horny.
maybe or whatever.
Like, I know, I come from the gym, seeing all those big schlongs,
Right.
All those guys doing it in the steam room.
Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Better relationships equal better sex. Sinclair Institute, the leader in sex education products for adults, has been saying it for over 20 years. I've seen some of their DVDs, and I highly recommend them. Find Sinclair's ad on my products page on my website, sexwithemily.com, and save 50% off any one item when you put in Emily50 at checkout. Enjoy the show. I promise your sex life will improve. Think you're addicted to what kind of porn do you watch? Just anything?
No, I really like to see. I really like amateur porn.
Right.
I don't, and I know that amateur porn isn't really amateur porn.
Right, but it's more amateur than the.
Then I don't want super glossy produced, whatever. I want it a little bit more, and I want to see guys who are enjoying themselves.
Right.
And you can tell when
they're
not. You can
totally tell.
And I have a lot of. Have you ever watched gay porn?
Yeah.
Because I get a lot of lesbians who want to watch my porn, like they come over and rent, the gay porn out of my
your
collection.
Place. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who get turned on by gay porn.
Would you
get
turned on by gay porn?
I have seen some gay porn that turned me on. Yeah.
Do girls turn you on?
Yeah, girls turn me on more than.
Do girls going like this turn you on? Because I think
no, that's annoying. And their
straight
long
porn
fingernails.
act-
I like the
that's
more
so weird.
the
long
fingernails.
fingernails.
It's so weird. Like it's not me. Like that doesn't turn me on. But I think two women getting it on is hot.
But
like,
real women, not like
not
the
real
faking it.
amateur women. Then the amateur porn women of women lesbian sex.
What do men, straight men, watch in a straight porn? Because you don't look at the guy, do you?
No, men don't want to see.
Well,
they
he
don't
does.
want to see another penis.
Menace does.
No.
Straight men like to limit the amount of other penises around in their vicinity.
Well, I like it. So when you've logged off of Grindr, and you've
Right, exactly.
and you've logged off to Chips Ahoy,
right.
what turns you on in the porn
No,
side?
I like amateur porn too. I don't like the produced stuff at all. And then there's like the
Look, he's standing up now.
I know, he just like moved and got all. I like the amateur porn.
No, but then it's also like with the guys, it's it's like the penis is really cut out. It's like they have the
cut out.
It's cut out. No, but it's really the camera views is like it's actually you.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? It's
got it. Yeah,
perspective.
I think George Carlin used to say, "Rest in peace, didn't he die?" He said that he had like a one dick theory or something, and he said men only want to see one penis in the room, like one dick, no other penises, no threesomes, like even that, like they even do a thing where they're picturing that it's their penis going in.
What about double penetration?
That's a great question. That just came up. Someone just. Yeah.
I don't find it hot.
I had to show my friend that because she didn't believe it was true.
It's true.
It was on a website that I look at. SeanCody.com is a fairly produced site, but
How
I
do you
like
say
the guys on there.
Slow it down.
SeanCody.com.
SEAN.
SEANCODY.
Okay, got it. I'm going to go now.
It's like all pretty boy sex, which I like.
Right.
You know, I'm into fit pretty boys.
Right.
And but
which
I'm
is why
also
you like our
into-
gym. And the steam
exactly.
room.
Yeah, the
No,
steam
you
room.
don't.
No, I've never been in the steam room.
I know.
Honey.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Like I like I like smooth. My boyfriend is Asian, but he's not like fresh off the boat Asian. Don't get it. If you want to picture him, he's very athletic. He was 2-time jump rope champion.
Really?
World jump rope champion.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's
That
traveled the
jump
world
ropers
jump
are-
roping. Can you believe that?
What?
Yeah, he's buff.
Oh.
He's hot. He's Japanese and he's from Alaska.
Okay.
I mean, he's very unique.
Yeah.
We should have him
I
in
like
here,
it.
but he clams up.
You should. Does he get nervous?
He
He
does.
does,
He doesn't
yeah.
like to.
I've met him
you
before.
know. Yeah, I mean, he's fine with me doing it all. But you know the thing, he's only been pissed at me a few times, and we called him on
I was there.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called him on our after show that we do after our show, which is on 997now.com.
And you can find
And,
it on
No, we're
Stitcher.
gonna plug you. Tell me how we find you. People
on
want.
Stitcher too.
They're hilarious. Like your show is renowned, and I think
Oh,
everyone
thank
should
you.
listen to your show. So tell us how to get there.
Yeah, it's either here in the Bay Area. It's It's
Sorry.
997 now or
99.7.
997now.com. And then there's all the podcasts are up there. And then we do a show after the show, which is a little raunchier. It's not as in depth probably as this, but it gets there. But
Yeah, we're deep.
we call.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, some of
We're
us
not that
can't
deep,
get that
right.
deep. Unfortunately. No, but we called him and asked about could I have sex with this if Justin Timberlake were in front of me,
Right.
could I have it? He just thinks it's disrespectful for me to be asking about having sex with other men, and he got really mad. I was like,
Wow.
"You're gonna do what you want to do anyway," and,
And you're like, it's just a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake, what are the chances? Or
I
no,
mean,
you.
listen. If Justin Timberlake wanted to have sex with me, I'm sorry. My boyfriend would just have to get over it,
Right.
and that would just be that, But that makes him mad. He thinks it's disrespectful. But I think to him, like, if Hugh Jackman, if Hugh Jackman wanted to have sex with him, I would have to say,
Yeah, you have to say, like,
you got to do it.
Right.
Hugh Jackman's
I agree.
gay, right? He's gay, right?
No, but he acts awfully gay.
Have you
I-
seen
Do you
his wife?
believe
He's
that
gay.
most men in this town, I feel like everyone's gay unless proven straight.
I don't. I really
I feel
don't.
like there's a lot. Like,
I swear to you that. Are you from here? Are you from the
I've
Bay Area?
been here a long time, but I'm not from here. I'm from Michigan originally.
Yeah, so when I moved here, I swear to God, and I just had a conversation with someone at the LGBT center, that's the lesbian, gay,
Transgender,
bisexual, and
bisexual.
transgender center here, because I'm thinking about doing some work with them. And she said that, that a lot of men who move here have the same thought. The thought I had was I was going to get here, and there's like unicorns hopping over clouds and glitter falling from the sky. And, it's not like that, really.
Right.
And San Francisco's gay community is not like the pretty boy gay community. It's
Right.
not clean. There's a lot of subsections,
Yes.
the leather, the stinky ones, the ones that like that odor, which I'm not
I
into
know,
that at all,
they always
but...
get next to me on the Stairmaster.
Isn't that annoying?
I've had to leave. I've had to move.
What is that? I've never heard of
There's
that.
just men that don't wear deodorant, I guess.
Don't wear deodorant, and they funkify. Like, I can not wear deodorant, and I don't funkify.
I don't
but
funk.
there
Right,
are
they
guys
funk
that do.
out, and I'm like, I'm on the Stairmaster, and I'm like putting my, it's bad.
And
But
it's definitely a fetish for guys.
is it?
I mean,
I
they
didn't
go
know that
for
was
it.
a fetish.
Absolutely, and it's really, really prevalent here.
But can they not do the fetish at the gym?
I
Can't they just do it
agree.
elsewhere?
Do it in your bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a bar here. Have you been to 440? Otherwise known as Daddy's. Used to be Daddy's. That went to
Yeah, I
440
remember
maybe.
Daddy's.
There's pretty smelly people in there.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
kind of like the smelly bar where
pretty
they will
raunch.
go.
But
I
I
didn't
kind of
know.
like it. I get. I used to get I don't know. I must be known to have a boyfriend because I used to get hit on, and I do not ever get hit on.
Yeah.
So I guess my
well, you're on
boyfriend's
the
always
radio.
behind me. But not everybody knows who I am.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't tell by looking.
Right. I don't know. I feel like that too sometimes, and then you get asked out, and it feels really good because your ego kind of needs.
Yeah,
it
my
a little
boyfriend
bit.
should be very happy right now. I never get hit on. Honey,
You never get
Don't
hit
worry
on
about it.
ever. Okay, well, thank you so much for being on the
You're
show.
welcome.
You're
Is it
awesome.
over
This is what-
already?
yeah, like
wow.
we're 30.
We're already
Yeah.
We
done.
can do a couple more minutes.
Okay, good. Let's go. Okay,
Yeah.
Menace is usually yelling at me.
No.
Are you ready to wrap it
No,
up?
I think
Menace?
it's good. We've been trying to get you in here for a while, so.
Okay, I'm excited.
Wanna
Okay,
use
so
a
tell
lot
me
of
more
my
about your
time.
sex life.
Maybe you actually the one thing I did want to say because I want to describe to people out there a little bit. So I walk in and Emily's wearing these pants, and I have to tell you, I'm going to describe them to you. Do you remember Olivia Newton-John in Grease?
Yeah.
These are the pants, and I just saw the Australia episodes of Oprah. Are you a fan of Oprah?
No, I mean yes, I am, but I haven't seen her.
Olivia Newton-John was on there, and she brought out the pants that
And
she
they were
wore.
these?
No way.
They're just like that she wore in Greece.
You better shape up.
So, yeah, exact. Sing it,
Because
girl.
I need
Sing
a man.
it.
I need a man. Really?
Whoa.
These look like, do you like them?
I love them.
Okay, good.
I love them.
too. They're really cozy.
They're
comfortable.
amazing.
They're very
Amazing.
American Apparel.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't go into American Apparel. I
Yeah.
thought American Apparel was all like sweatshirts. And
No,
stuff.
they have like it's
Cotton.
very
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you into that?
No, I mean, I
What
honestly,
are you, a hipster?
No, that's such a good question.
No,
Because
she's not a
I'm-
hipster.
What am I,
No.
Menace? What am I? I'm a little bit of everything. I've got a little hipster in me. I'm a little hipster.
but the ring is sort of like very
Funky
trendy,
hippie.
but it's
Yeah, it's very
trendy too
hippie-ish.
right now.
She dresses like a hippie, I think.
I
Do
not
you?
like
see
not a
hippie at
hardcore
all.
hippie,
You
like
don't?
a trendy hippie.
No. And you've got the Michelle Obama arms, like hot, buff,
Ooh,
cut,
Thank you.
looking good.
Wow, I don't know what I am. It's so confusing. It's like I mean, I do like I like nice things, but I am kind of funky, eclectic. The way I dress, I just kind of wear whatever, and
I like what you have on, but
Thank
you're
you.
very. The bottom half of you is very grease, not the top half, but even the boots. I mean, you're Olivia
Right.
Newton-John right now.
I'm so. Oh my god, that's like heaven. I wish
You are.
Yeah, I love Olivia Newton-John.
One of the first songs I remember
Xanadu.
is yes, that's
Is that
it.
what you were gonna sing?
That's one of the first songs I really remember. I remember being a kid. It's so funny that some I guess gay men exhibit no homosexual traits,
Right.
and some
Until-
do. And I always wanted to be a cheerleader, but I didn't want to be like a boy cheerleader because I didn't get pom poms.
Right.
So I wanted to be a
You
girl
wanted the
cheerleader.
pom-poms,
yeah,
of
of course. I wanted that, and
It's being a fireman without the hose. or
and
something.
I want to be lifted up, I want to be treated like a lady. So, but I loved that, like that Elton John. Like my mom and dad listened to country music, so I rarely got to hear
How did
any
you
kind
find
of
this
other
stuff?
music. Once in a while you would hear it, and your friends' parents would be listening to something, and this song, I guess that's why they call it the blues by Elton John. I fell in love with that song, and my mom took me to the record store, and the only records I bought that were not Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, and Crystal Gale were Karma Chameleon by the Culture Club,
Yeah.
and I guess that's why they call it the blues by Elton John. Why my mother still is having even questions about my sexuality.
right.
I'll
Like, Mom,
never
didn't we
know.
clear this up when I was 8? Right.
But it is super funny. I got, and then I guess we'll wrap it up.
No, we're good. We're good.
Well, I tricked my grandmother. I was staying for the summer at her house, and when I was in elementary school, I wanted pom-poms so bad. I mean, it was like the dream of my life. That's all I
Right.
wanted.
I mean, I did too. I just never was. Yeah, but I get
You didn't get them?
No, but
you
go
were,
ahead.
It was totally acceptable for you. Why
I
didn't
know,
you get
I
them?
know, you're right. I'm just thinking, I know that feeling, so I can imagine
Yeah.
for you, like, you really could, like,
Yeah,
Keep going.
but it's banned. You know
right,
you can't
right,
have
you know
them.
you can't. Like that's
And-
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, my parents are really country, really conservative, really Catholic. Well, my dad's not Catholic, but all the other things. He married a lesbian, for God's sake.
Right.
Anyway, so I tricked my grandmother and told her that there was this girl named Kimberly back home, and it was going to be her birthday on the day that I got back. So I needed to go shopping for her birthday immediately, like while I was there, and get pom-poms. And that's what she wanted. And so my grandmother took me, and I was there for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I got the pom-poms when we were at the store. And I remember my grandparents would fall asleep in the middle of the day, like old people do, watching As the World Turns.
Yeah.
And as soon as they would fall asleep in their chair, I would go to the room, get the pom-poms, go back in the backyard, behind the barn, and do cheers.
Oh,
and
my
cheers.
God, that's
Yeah.
so cute. Did you make off, like, give me an A? Like, what'd you do?
No, it was very, like, because I like certain sports teams then and certain colleges, and so which I still do, certain colleges, certain pro teams. So I pretended I was cheerleaders for those teams.
Of course.
And I imagined in my head, like, the team was making a touchdown, and then I was doing the proper cheer.
Did you ever get
for
caught?
the touchdown. I never got caught. At anything I did, I told my therapist, it's bad because I'm good at hiding things.
Right.
I'm good at getting away with stuff. But one time I nearly got caught with a gay porno magazine at my house.
Oh,
No way.
When
happened?
I was like, oh God, I was 15 or 16. And I remember remember newsstands that had porn in the back of them? You don't have them anymore because we can get our porn and regular news elsewhere. But there was this one on the way home from my high school, and I went in there one day. I was terrified, and you had to go in the back where the pornos were. So I go into the back, and like there's another man back there. So I start looking at the straight magazines, looking at the boobs and all that stuff. And then he leaves. I run over to the gay, and I'm looking at the gay magazines. And then I wise up, and I put the gay magazine inside of a straight magazine.
Oh my
so
God.
if anybody walked in, they would think I was looking at that. Finally, after doing that like 3 or 4 times over like a month or whatever, I got up the courage to I said, I'm just going to take this gay magazine up to the counter. I'm not going to look at him. I wasn't even old enough to buy it.
Right.
I just put it up there. I didn't look at him. He's like $3. I gave him the money. I ran out.
Oh, my
It
God.
was so like exhilarating.
Was it your first sexual explicit material that you got your hands on? Oh,
yes.
my God.
First time I'd seen like guy,
Right.
stuff.
And it turned you on?
It turned me on. It's just like, but it was so scary to buy.
Totally.
Yeah.
That first experience. Did you ever have to go through that, Menace?
The
Buying
guy
your-
by
Gay
gay
porn.
magazine.
Not gay porn.
No, just like that with condoms and
Right,
stuff.
right,
But,
right.
yeah.
Why were we so afraid of condoms when we were
Because
younger?
we're like, oh my God, they know we're having sex. Like,
Yeah, I get
so
like
what?
today
I don't
it's
know.
like,
you don't even think about
and
it.
people should applaud you for buying condoms.
Yeah.
You should applaud yourself for buying
Exactly.
condoms.
Everyone should buy condoms.
And
now,
and
tonight.
straight women,
today.
this frustrates me so much. Straight women don't protect themselves. I have so many straight women friends who I'm like, did you wear a condom with the guy? No, well, I'm on the pill. You don't know him. He can have
you
anything.
don't know exactly. You have
do
to use
not
condoms.
do it. And if you don't want to buy them, if you don't want to spend the money, straight people, then go to your local gay bar. They hand them out for free. There are
Like
buckets
candy.
of them.
Buckets.
There are buckets at the
It's
front
true.
desk.
Yep.
Yeah.
When
Yep.
you check in and hand in your underwear, you can pick up some condoms. But anyway, so I take the magazine home and I hide it and I look at it and I masturbate to it like so many times.
Oh.
So one day we had a swimming pool, and one day I take it out into the living room. My parents weren't home, and I'm looking, at the magazine, getting all horny, and I decide to go out and masturbate in the pool. I mean, who am I? Joan Collins? I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I'm like Blanche Devereaux. I'm having this like exciting life.
Exactly.
So I go out thinking I'm Linda Evans, and I'm like masturbating in the pool or whatever. And I just finish up and just whatever. And I'm walking back in the back door, and I hear my father walking in the front door. I look down. I had left the gay porn magazine on the middle of the living room.
Oh my God.
Open to the
No.
spread.
Whoa.
Like,
No.
I guess I got so horny. I
Yeah.
lost my
You're like, I'm
mind.
just going to the pool to cool off there. I'll go back and get that magazine. So what happened?
Well, he was luckily walking through the kitchen, and I see it and grab it and, rush
Wow.
into my room. And hide it, but that's the closest I had ever
Oh,
gotten
God.
to getting
And
caught.
at that age, that would have been you weren't ready yet, right? To talk to
I'm
your
not ready
parents,
now.
or- You're still not ready now, exactly. Oh, my God.
How long did you have that one magazine?
You know what I would do, Menace, is I would have the magazines for a while, and then I would freak out and be like, oh, my God, my parents are going to find it. I got to get rid of it. You know, oh, my God, the pages are stuck together or whatever. Or, you know, you get tired of the same one.
Right,
but
right.
Mostly, like, I'm so scared that they're going to find it, so I would get rid of it, I'd take it somewhere and throw it out.
Right.
And then a couple months later, I'd be like, jonesing.
Right. Gotta get a new one. Gotta get a new one.
Yeah, I remember I drove to Dallas. I called when I was like 17 or 18. I think 18. I looked in the phone book and I called this like gay and lesbian whatever. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was like, where do gay people hang out? Like I asked, where do gay people hang out or whatever.
That's proactive.
But I didn't want to know. Like, they were like, oh, there's youth groups and blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to know that. I wanted to know where I can get a gay video. I wanted to see some hot man-on-man action.
Right. So what'd you do?
So I drove over to the gay part of town, and I found a video store. And, like, I was, like, finding gold mines.
Right, like Mecca. Exactly. So did you buy a bunch of video?
Well, I wanted to rent these videos, right? So I go through and I pick them all out, and you have to... Back then, they would put the covers in like the plastic sleeves,
Yeah.
And then you have to take the covers up there, and then they have the
Right.
and give you. So I did all that, and they're like, okay, we're gonna need a major credit card or remember like Blockbuster or these. They used to like you'd have to have your life on these things because they cost so much back then. Now they don't cost anything. And they were like, or you have to write a check for a deposit. I did not have either one. I had a checkbook. I was so wanting the porn that I drove 50 minutes back to where I lived in Fort Worth, all the way back from Dallas to Fort Worth to my house, got my checkbook, drove all the way back to rent that porn, to write that check.
You wanted it.
I wanted it bad. And
Thank God you moved to San Francisco.
It took an hour to find gay porn.
Because in San Francisco, you can't drive 5 minutes without finding gay porn, right?
It's true. What do you think about in the Castro, the gay neighborhood? What do you think about walking down the street and some of the places just having like dildos in the windows?
I think it's fine. I think it's. I have no problem with me.
Have you had children?
No, I don't.
I mean,
children.
no. If you had,
if I had children, I just think it's part of life, part of the culture that we live in. I mean,
you wouldn't take them to the Castro. Probably.
I'm not. I don't know.
I don't know where.
I don't know.
What would you take them in the? Where would you take them in the?
I mean,
Castro,
I guess
though?
there's no.
But some families live in the Castro now.
Yeah.
The theater. I love the theater. I mean,
but
they might be like,
there.
I know, but they're like, oh, well, mommy, what is that? Spaceship looking thing? Like, what do you know? You're like, oh,
what's this
we'll talk
hot
about
cookie
it later.
thing where there's vagina?
I know, or like the sausage factory or whatever. No, but I don't know. I don't have a problem with it because I think that sex toys and sex paraphernalia really help and enhance people's relationships. But what do you do about young kids? Like, what do you do about anything? Like, they're on the internet and they're getting.
I saw a porno when I was 6 years old.
How?
He never forgets this.
Yeah.
What was it about again? Because I think it's fucked you up somehow.
It hasn't.
Sorry.
No,
maybe.
it's so weird.
Where'd you see it? Where'd you find it?
Okay, what happened was I've told the story many times before, but I was learning to ride a bike and I broke the training wheels.
Well, of
on the
course,
bike.
now it all makes sense.
Yeah, I broke the training wheels on the bike because the training wheels were plastic wheels, right? So I was out in the front trying to ride this bike forever, and then finally I rode it without the training wheels. I kept on going. I didn't know how to stop, and I ran right into a fence, and I was so excited. I ran to the front door of my house. And the screen door was there, and my dad was watching a porno.
Of course he was.
Right,
You're
but
done.
he didn't hear me. He didn't hear me get to the door, so I immediately just stopped. And
you
stood
knew
there,
that it was something.
And I watched, but for some
Did you
reason,
pull your willy out and start
no,
playing
but
with
for
it?
some reason, at 6 years old, I knew what it was.
Well, I think
I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen anything sexual
Right.
before that. Maybe my mom's
Or
vibrator
since then.
or something
No,
like that.
right.
But
You saw your mom's vibrator?
Yeah, I think
now
when I
that
was
would
younger.
traumatize me more than anything.
Right.
That would. I
I
caught
don't
my
wanna
brother. My parents had. Remember those old timey vibrators that
The
not
plug
like.
into the wall Hitachi magic wand?
Yeah, well, no, this was like the thing for your back. This was like a real vibrator. Like for
Right.
your back, you held
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
this
Yes,
was a
yes.
thing.
It was like, eh.
Somehow my brother figured out that if he put it on his penis, it would
Felt
make
good.
you. Yeah, it felt good.
Vibration feels
Yeah.
good.
So I one day came home from school. He was probably like in 9th grade, and I was in 7th, and I catch him in my parents' room, and he's like starts freaking out and yelling at me, and I wasn't quite sure why. Like, get out of here! What are you doing? And he had the vibrator, and I was like, oh, it's vibrator.
Right.
Whatever. And then I figured it out, like, oh, he was, what he was doing. So then, of course, that gives you the idea.
Right.
And then I started. It was amazing.
Yeah, some men love the vibration out of their
Amazing.
penis. Like that's why I always talk about rings, that like the rings for their penis.
C-rings.
Do you ever use them?
I don't like them.
You don't like
it's
them?
It's too complicated. And a lot of times the rings, they're for guys who can't keep it up or need. And I
but
swear
the vibrating
to God,
rings, like you like the vibration on your penis.
I do. Yeah.
Right.
And I've used those before. I just don't like the rings so
I know
much.
what you're saying. Okay, got
I
it.
would rather have a little toy that I've stuck down there while I'm having
like a
sex
little
with my
pocket
boyfriend.
rocket or something? Or?
Yeah, right there. See, I like it right in the taint.
Right.
That's where
that feels
it really
good.
feels
Menace,
good.
you should try that.
It
Will
feels
you tell
good. You don't
Menace
have to
things?
insert it into anywhere.
Will you tell Menace things that would feel good?
It feels really good. Here's another thing
don't
I discovered on my own as a junior high kid is I'm amazing. Like when you're a kid, you can find these things out, but figured out that if I took the shower head and laid it down.
Oh, yeah.
And put it on the head of my penis, not right below the head of my penis, that I could come without touching my penis.
You're like MacGyver.
And that
masturbation.
Yeah, all I need is a piece of gum and a shower head.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I really think it is if you can come without touching your penis, it feels 10 times better.
Oh, I'm sure.
It just feels amazing. Like, I don't know, this.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels great when you're doing that, too.
Right, but to make it right.
To make it shoot
what do you think?
without...
Oh, God, we have to go. But...
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll come back another day.
Will you come back another day? Because I want to talk to you about hand jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We have a big debate.
We have a big hand job debate. Will you come back?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'll absolutely
I'm
come
so
back.
happy to meet you, and thank you so much for being on the
thank you
show.
for
This is so
having me.
fun. Okay, everyone. Well, that was. How do we find you?
Download
Download his podcast.
Yeah, 997now.com.
And search Fernando and Greg on Stitcher,
Fernando and Greg on Stitcher. We've got a lot of Stitcher listeners.
Yeah, on Stitcher, you can search Fernando and Greg. The last 2 weeks of podcast don't listen to, Fernando and I have been in huge fights. It's been like marriage.
For
and
real?
a lot of people don't like it. Like, if you were a Howard Stern listener,
Right.
I always digged when they would fight and
Right,
it was real
right.
and stuff like that. We've been going through this 7-year itch kind of thing.
Oh.
In a relationship when you
Yes.
wake up and you look at someone and you're
Yes.
I wish that person were dead.
Right.
We've been going through that the last couple of weeks. It's gotten better, but
makes
it's
me
all
sad.
kind of played out. He was there one day, and it was not even bad, and he started squirming in his seat and
I was
feeling
like, what the
uncomfortable.
hell's going
and
on?
You can't always be happy.
No,
I
you
don't want
can't.
you-
And your listeners probably want to see you,
Yeah, but-
all sides of you.
Yeah,
They complained a lot, and they think I'm a dick, but I am a very, very...
I want to come see you be a dick on the show now. Because I don't
You-
see
you know
stuff
what?
as what?
She should come do our...
sideshow.
Yeah,
I'd love
book
to.
her for the sideshow.
Oh my
yeah.
God, do it. I love it.
Absolutely.
I'll talk about anything. Whatever.
Okay.
It'd be so fun.
And
All right.
I
Okay.
just don't want you guys to end up like some shows that I know where they are in separate rooms. I don't want it to end up being like
Oh,
that
that's
one
not
day.
going to happen.
But you know
They're
what?
going to make it. They love each other, right? Deep down?
We've been good friends for a long time. But when that happens or why that happens is because people don't get it out. They harbor their bad feelings to the point to where it's just then
Right.
it all, blows up. Here's one thing. I think we're both in therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think therapy, what I've learned in the last year is therapy brings a lot of stuff to surface.
Yep.
You think you're going to go to therapy and you're going to be fine and everything's going to be great. No.
No.
It brings it so much rage.
It breaks you
up.
down.
You got to get it
Fall
all
apart.
out. So last year was raging because I'm getting all this
Good.
insane
I was in
stuff
therapy
out.
forever.
I think year 2 is when you start to maybe
Oh my God, I was in
fix
therapy for
things.
15 years.
Okay, maybe in year 14 you start to fix things. All right, we do have to go.
Okay.
Emily will be on the sideshow
Okay, I
with Fernando
can't
and Greg,
wait. I
and then
can't
I'll be
wait.
back on this show soon.
Okay, good. Thanks, everyone, for listening to Sex with Emily. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.
This episode of Sex with Emily is brought to you by Screaming O. Make sex even more fun with the Screaming O collection of award-winning mini vibes, vibrating rings, and sexy accessories. These colorful sex toys come recommended by Women's Health, Maxim Magazine, and sexperts around the world. Try a vibe on your finger, your tongue, or even around his thing and see what all the buzz is about. Men, women, and couples love Screaming O. Millions of satisfied customers will tell you, no matter where you are, what you like, or who you're with, there's a Screaming O for that. Go to screamingo.com to check out all their fun products today. Thanks for listening.